Yeah, I love this Cootie idea and the foundation. You know, in order to get started playing Cootie, you have to roll a one, and you keep rolling the die and rolling the die and rolling the die until you finally get a one. And getting the one is like figuring out your foundation. Getting the one is, and I think of a foundation as getting clear about your identity. Who am I? Who am I? Because there are a lot of ways of expressing myself out there, but it really comes back with understanding who I am. And understanding who I am, I think, has a lot to do with values. What are my values? What are the values that are most important to me? And it doesn't matter. I mean, you can go a lot of different directions in life, but I think the starting point is being grounded in a clear sense of what are my values? What is most important to me? That's what's most unique about me, about who I am. And how do we learn those values? I mean, we learn them from our family growing up, but then we have to have an opportunity, we have to be able to test and to question and to ask, is my father's values, or my father's values, my mother's values, my family values, the way that I was taught to be within my family, who I really am or who I want to be? Do I want something different? And if I want something different, I have to clarify that. I have to know what that is, and then I have to associate with people that are like that, that have similar kinds of values to me, and that's the beginning. That's the starting point. And you know, what the values can be for people. It can be responsibility. It can be quality. It can be many different things. But it does come back to knowing, you know, who am I? What are my values? And I don't believe that I'm going to achieve long-term success. I can get glimmers of success, and I can get success in a societal kind of way, but inside it leaves me feeling empty. Inside it leaves me feeling, I don't know, spiritually destitute in a sense, because I've worked with people who have made lots of money and achieved lots of power, but they say something is missing. You know, I'm not happy, I'm not fulfilled, I don't have joy in my life. I've done all of the right things, and it's, you know, they're pursuing all of the externals, but they haven't started on the inside. They haven't started with that foundation of who I am, and lived and been able to articulate that, and then live consistently with that, and find other people around them to reinforce and to support them, and people who are like them that they can be with and associate with on a regular basis. So I think we build our lives upon a foundation, and that foundation has to do with our identity, and our identity has a lot to do with what are my deepest and most important values. And if we don't know that, we're going to be searching, and we're going to be running off in a lot of different directions, but not finding full satisfaction. So that inner search is as important as, and more important and more foundational than anything we do.
Or she references first foundation. To me, in terms of being a writer, foundation would obviously be a couple of things. Number one, education. You need to be able to write. You need to be able to be trained, not necessarily in the genre specifically, but you need to be trained to write. Education would be one part of a foundation to become a writer. A second thing that I can't stress enough is not to waste your time with too much TV and spend a lot of time reading books. Read books from different genres. Read books, yes, in your favorite genre. Fantasy is it. Read a lot of fantasy, but read other books. I read all different kinds of books. From political commentary to religious books, to fantasies to novels. Some people love those. So read a lot, and that will help you if this is the area you'd like to go into. So foundation would be education, both formal education and educating yourself by exposure to the field that you're interested in.
Okay, so the foundations for my success. I would have to say one of the most important foundations I have for my success would be the support that I get from my family and my friends both, and just the immediate people following me.
Believe in your dreams,